Hi everybody. Welcome to Bedhead Yoga. This is a yoga practice in contrast to last week's challenge yoga practice. I tricked you. I said we were going to do really long planks, but no, that's not going to happen today. Today is one of those days where we can just relax and sink into a slow, low to the ground practice. That's why I encourage pajama pants, bedhead. Bring your real self to this practice. This is for those days, and I'm recording it so that we can come back to it. This is for those days when we just don't feel like moving, but we know we have to. So let's keep it slow and yinny, and we'll be in some holds for some poses for a longer period of time. So I encourage you to lay out your blanket. I have an extra pillow here. I encourage any kind of pillow that will give you support. We'll use it under our legs, under our hips, many different ways to use your props. Your blocks are also good. So you just have everything you need close by, and just let's just be real, bedhead and all. So we're going to start on our bellies. So come on down, and if you really don't want to lay in your belly, come to your back. Prop yourself up any way that feels appropriate to you. And just make a little pillow with your hands and turn your head to one side. I'll turn to this side because that's where my mic is. And just kind of Sophie shake it out, settle in. If your hands aren't comfortable under your cheek, just lower your hands down to your sides. Just find a position where you can be here for a little bit. Then check in with your space. Notice external sounds. Notice internal sounds. Notice how your breath feels differently on this surface that you're laying on. Notice how the body feels against the surface. And feel the skin that's exposed to air. Notice the temperature of your air. And then invite a deeper breath. So with your mouth gently closed, breathe into your nostrils. Feel that air coming in. Maybe it's a little cool. Fill up and let your belly press against the earth. And then let your slow exhalation lower you down a bit so your belly draws in. And take a couple more here with your head turned in this direction. Nice, full, deep inhalations. Long, slow, intentional exhalations. Good. Now on this next one, you might want to start constricting the back of the throat so we can practice that ujjayi breath that we've practiced before. It's a little bit of a constriction in the back of the throat so that we make it's like a ocean sound, or some people call it Darth Vader breath. Still breathing through the nose. Soft close of the mouth, close of the eyes. Maybe Darth Vader breath is not what you want this morning. No worries. Just keep your breath slow and intentional. And then we'll turn our head to the other side. So just switch cheeks and continue your breath. I'll stay on this side just so my mic is in the right position. Breathing slowly. Breathing deeply. Good. Take a couple more here. See if you can lengthen your breath a little bit more. Fill up a little bit more. And slow down that exhale a little bit more. Super good for the nervous system. We know this. And slowing down is a challenge of its own, right? Give yourself permission to slow down. And when you're ready, we can turn our head to the opposite direction. Let's do that. And then take the opposite knee and draw it up to the elbow. So my head is turned toward my left, my right knee is drawing up to my right elbow. See if you can do that. And we'll come into the sleeper shape. Just release tension in the lower back. Again, if your hands aren't comfortable, you can use a little pillow or whatever suits you. And just come back to that Ujjayi breath. We'll take several rounds of breath here. So we just release the lower back. Notice what happens as we slow down. Notice where your mind wants to wander off. And without chastising yourself, just come back to your breath. Come back to that slow, intentional breath. And see if you can soften into this pose. Just allow the floor to support you. You're doing great. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Slow and easy. No rushing this practice. And on your next exhalation, just gently re-extend that leg. So if you shake it out, just rock from side to side. And we'll gently turn our head to the opposite direction and draw the other knee. For me, it's the left, up to the elbow. I'm going to turn my head in the opposite direction again, just because. And you are welcome to do that too if your neck is just not comfortable in any position. Please make accommodations for your sweet neck. And then come back to that awareness of the breath. Keep the eyes closed if you're comfortable with that. And just settle in. Keeping that Darth Vader breath if you like. Just a slow breath.
In the nostrils and out. You might notice there might be tension somewhere. See if you can use your breath to soften. Maybe it's in the neck, maybe it's in the back. Just send the breath there. Encourage softening. Sometimes it helps to swallow in the throat. And take 3 more. 3 more here in the shape before we move on. And it's really important in a yin practice to make your transition slow as well. So let's think about how we will transition out. We will take our time on the next exhalation to extend the left leg or whatever leg you have bent. Come down and bring your forehead to the center, rock it out, Sophie, shake it out. And just pause here for a moment. Take a nice full breath in. Long breath out. And as you're ready, we'll rise up into Sphinx pose. So the forearms come on the floor, the hands, palms are pressing onto the floor. This might be one place where you use a pillow for support if you have one handy, so you can tuck it under you. And then we'll take the shoulders and loop them back. So we want a nice expansive heart space. And we want our shoulders down away from the ears. So there is constriction in the lower back, so feel free to lower down a bit or use your props to, tuck them in a little bit more. Maybe that'll help you get a little more of a back bend. And then notice here, are you clenching your glutes? See if you can soften those glutes. What's your face doing? See if you can soften all the muscles in the face, the jaw. And so if your belly's growling like mine, that's a good sign. That's a sign of our rest and digest, our parasympathetic nervous system kicking in. So also maybe you're hungry. Or maybe you close your eyes here and see if you can settle in. Let's come back to that awareness of the breath. Keeping the exhalations long. A little longer than the inhalations. A little bit of muscular engagement here, so no worries if you get tired. Feel free to come down, take a rest, and then come back up. Just keep your transition slow. Just be aware of this slowing down. How do you respond? Notice. It's a challenge. Just notice it. Invite yourself back to your breath. Back to the slower rhythm, slower pace. We're about halfway through here.
inhalation. Long, slow exhalation. And then just 2 more of those. 2 more. Full breath together. Fill up maybe more than you have yet thus far in our practice today. And then as you're ready, slide any props that you have away and just gently, slowly transition down to the floor. Let your forehead come to the floor. Just let your arms come down by your sides, and Sophie, shake it out. Rock your hips from side to side. Take a full breath here. And then take your hands to the outsides of your shoulders. Draw those elbows in toward one another. We're going to take our time in this transition. We were in a back bend for a little longer than we're used to, so let's just gently press up to a baby cobra. And then we'll come up through our tabletop. Press yourself up, bring your knees under your hips, hands under shoulders, and take about 5 rounds of cat-cow, just to work out the kinks and make them slower than usual. Use your inhale to come into your cow pose, dipping the belly, lifting the gaze and tailbone, and then use your exhale to round into that Halloween cat shape. Press the mat away, lengthen your arms. You might linger here a little longer to get that stretch that you need. Move at your own pace. Just get real about how your back feels after that intense back bend and take what you need. Keep it slow. Good. And whenever you feel you are ready, I'm going to come into a pose that hopefully will feel nice after that back bend. Bring your knees wide. Big toes can touch. Another place we can use our pillow or blanket, tuck it behind our hips. And then as you sink down into your child's pose, it just gives you a little extra support. And then the head can lower slowly to the floor or a block. And then the arms can extend. And you can have your palms face up if you like. A little gesture of receptivity. And take your time. Sink into this child's pose. Find the way that works for you. Another option is a pillow under the head. That might feel good. Even a pillow under the chest, you know. Just be real about what you need. And settle in here. So we'll be here a little bit longer than we're used to. Close your eyes. Tune into your breath. Whether it's Ujjayi breath or yogic breath, just keep it slow and deep. If your knees or your hips are just not comfortable in this pose, feel free to come to your back. Give your knees a squeeze. Slow breaths. Notice here what's going on in your neck. See if you can soften. In these poses, these yin shapes, we have more time to scan our bodies and
just kind of tune into what's going on. So take some time. Work your way from your head to your toes and see if you can encourage softening with the breath. Again, if your mind drifts, you start making lists or plans. See if you can come back to this awareness of the breath, awareness of the body. Feel the breath filling up the back body. Rib cage expands as you draw the air up into the lungs. Fill up nooks and crannies that you may not have felt air, oxygen going into, consciously at least. And let your exhalations be long. You're doing great. We're almost there in this shape. Take 3 more breaths here in this child's. If your shoulders get tired, always the option to take them back. Your arms back, that is. You reach for the outsides of your feet. As you're ready, wherever your arms are, just take them to the outsides of your shoulders, right in front of your shoulders, and gently, slowly press up. We'll come up to a seat, so just come to one hip. Sit up tall, lengthen the spine, and then bring your feet together in Baddha Konasana, cobbler's pose. See if you can lengthen the spine, and then decide if you would like a prop or two. So you can use your blocks, your pillows, whatever you have, your blankets. I kind of like blocks underneath my legs in this shape. And then there are options for your feet. So you can bring your feet out a little bit farther so you have a little more of a diamond shape, or you can bring them in a little closer. You'll get a different stretch in your inner thighs. Also the option to tuck a blanket under your hips if you like. Take a big breath and shine your heart, and then we're gently going to come forward. And just let the shoulders slump forward, let that chin come to the chest. Let your eyes close. And notice how your breath feels in the shape. See if you can settle in, allowing your hips to respond slowly to the shape. Nothing quick, no quick transitions here. Just let your hips kind of settle. Let your lower back settle in. Adjust accordingly as your back demands. Maybe reignite your Ujjayi breath if you were enjoying that, or just stay with this slow, deep yogic breath.
steady wins the race. Right. Good. Maybe you slump a little further. Find that shape that really gives you the stretch that works for you today. Always coming back to the breath. Taking that body scan, noticing where you might notice tension. See if you can soften the jaw. Halfway through. Notice your eyes. Are they soft? See if you can soften. Relax. Any crinkles in the forehead. Take our 3 fullest breaths in this shape. You can breathe slow and easy. If this feels really good here, just stay for a while. If you're ready to transition, bring your fingertips to the floor. Just press your fingertips into the floor and gently walk one hand back and then the other. And we'll think about lengthening the spine like that strand of pearls, one vertebra at a time. Take your props away. And then just let your legs lengthen in front of you. And take some shoulder rolls. Just take a few shoulder rolls, up, back, and down. So let them drop down away from the ears. And we're going to take a side bend. So we'll take one leg and just extend it out to one side. And then tuck the other one in some way that is comfortable for you. Maybe there's a prop underneath that knee. Maybe the foot comes to the inner thigh. And then we're going to reach for our toes or place our hand under the calf of that leg, maybe behind the leg, wherever it's going to be comfortable, and you might change in the middle of the shape. And then we'll take the opposite arm, reach it up and over slowly. You can think about flexing those toes or just relax them. The stretch is in this side body of the extended arm. And then maybe turn your head, just kind of let your chin bow towards your chest. Turn your head under, so you're gazing under the arm that is extended. And then we'll just breathe here. We'll spend a little less time on each side here. It's a lot to have your arm up and overhead, so feel free to lower it down anytime. And just close your eyes here. Settle into this side bend. Notice how it feels to breathe in a different shape. So we're constantly changing position as we move through our day. Just notice how it feels to breathe. And the object of yoga is to be able to take some of these lessons off of our mat. So how great would it be if we are observing our breath as we move through the different shapes we make during our day? We'll be much more conscious. I know you already are. Let's take 3 more breaths here before we transition. Exhale, just take a slow transition out of this pose. So you want to release that hand to the floor. Move your props out of the way. And then gently hug the extended leg into your chest and just pause here, lengthen your spine a little bit. Good, breathe in and breathe out. And we'll just extend the opposite leg. That should feel like a little release, and bring this other foot to the inside of the extended leg, and maybe the pillow props up this knee. And feel free to move this leg around so that your knee is accommodated. Everyone's different, right? And then as you're ready, come into your side bend on this side. So you want to just come in slowly and gently turn your gaze toward that arm that's extended as you reach for your toes on the other side. Maybe the hand tucks under the calf. That'll give you a little resistance. And then close your eyes, settle in. Your body equal time, stretching the side body. So good for us. And then as you deepen your breath, know that you are activating all kinds of little energy centers in the side body. Giving yourself that internal massage as you gently twist toward the opposite direction of your extended leg. Good. Just allow yourself to settle in here. Noticing where the breath needs to go. Remembering you can release this arm anytime your shoulder or your arm begins to cry out for some attention and it just gets too intense. We're going for sensation always in yoga, never pain. So listen to your body. Another benefit of a yin practice, it gives us that time in the slower pace to really listen to what our body is saying. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Challenge yourself to keep them slow. third breath, wait for the exhalation. And then slowly, if your arm is still up there, reach it up and over. Take it to the floor, and then hug that extended leg in. Give yourself a moment to lengthen the spine. Take a big breath. Exhale it out. And then if you have a pillow, or you can have a rolled up blanket as well, I suggest we use it for this next forward fold. I'm going to tuck it under my knees, my pillow. If you have a blanket and you want to roll it up, tuck it under your knees. It's just really nice support. Good. And then lengthen the spine, sit up nice and tall. Take a couple shoulder rolls if you like. And then we're just gently going to walk our fingertips toward our toes. And maybe they'll come beside our toes, maybe not. Maybe you reach for the sides of your feet. Maybe they're just on your shins or your ankles. And keep a nice long spine for another couple of rounds of breaths. Lengthen out. Feel the back stretching in a different direction. You want to take it slow. And only when you're ready, we'll come into that slump asana and just let the shoulders round forward, the chin round forward. Again, using any props that serve you, so blankets, pillows can even rest on top of you, on top of your knees, your legs, your thighs. And see if you can just settle in here. Allow the back to gently get used to this shape. And feel the breath moving into the back body. Give yourself permission to soften with every exhalation. Again, scanning the body for tension. See if you can send the breath to those areas. Just knowing that these forward folds are some of the best shapes for our nervous system. So doing lots of good work by passively allowing these shapes to heal, to encourage relaxation. Magic happens in that parasympathetic state. Rest and digest. So with your shoulders rounded forward, there's a little more of an expansion in the upper back. See if you can bring the breath all the way up nodes of the lungs in the upper back. Just feel that breath moving into nooks and crannies there. Again, feel free to lengthen out and then refold as needed. And feel free to remove your props if they're not serving you, or if you feel like you want to go into a little bit of a deeper expression of this shape. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Longest, bestest breaths.
a reminder, we will transition super slowly, so fingertips to floor. Just walk your way slowly to a lengthened spine. And take a moment here with a nice lengthened spine. Maybe roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Just feel the way it feels. Maybe take a side stretch here. You can go to both sides. Maybe even a twist would feel good. And then yay, guess where we're going? Right down to our backs. So lengthen yourself out. Move my battery pack here. Let your legs lengthen long on your mat. Oh, yeah. Take a moment here. Place your hands on your belly. And with a lengthened spine, just feel yourself in this shape. Notice how it feels. And notice how the breath feels in this shape. Good. And then when you're ready, hug one knee in and then the other. Give yourself a nice big hug. Let's take some circles, as we can. Draw some circles on your ceiling. Massage out the sacrum. Keep it slow. And go the other direction. Gently place your feet on the floor. Hopefully your blocks are not as far away as mine. Find one if you can. And draw your heels up towards your hips, maybe manually if need be. And then we're going to press into our feet, lift our hips, and gently slide your block. Pillow is also nice here. Why not? We'll come into a supported bridge. Good. And once you get there, snuggle your shoulders underneath you. Allow your palms to rest face up. Close your eyes. Notice how you feel in this shape. If it's less than good, feel free to come back out of it anytime. If you really want to go for it, you can extend your legs long. Yeah. Moving the back, moving the spine in different directions. So good for our spine, right? So find that shape that works for you, and we'll come back to our breath. Close the eyes. Soften the face. Recommit to that deeper than normal breath. You're doing so well. Slowing down, it can be a challenge. Maybe you want to reinstate that Ujjayi breath. Just a gentle constriction in the throat. I like it because it reminds me to keep the breath slow when I can hear it. You know, it's just a gentle reminder. Also kind of does sound like the ocean, so it's soothing in that way. So if you're using a prop, see if you can settle in. Allow the prop to support you. Notice if you're clenching glutes or just in any way not surrendering to the shape. See if you can surrender a little more. It's good.
leave some time for some juicy twists. So let's take 3 more breaths together here. Make them the best, the bestest. Take this next exhalation the longest. Challenge yourself. And then remember, we're transitioning slowly, so place your palms on the floor. Press in to the mat with your feet and your hands. Lift up enough to remove the block, and then slowly lower down. Just allow the vertebrae to stack. And take a moment to let that spine relax, reset. Take a nice breath in. And then we're going to press into the feet again. Take the palms to the floor. Press into the feet. Lift your hips up enough to bump the hips over to the left side of the mat. And draw those knees slowly into the chest. So keep it slow. Take your right hand to the outside of the left leg and gently draw your knees over to the right. Nice place for a pillow or block to just rest under those knees. And take that left hand, left arm, extend it out, and turn your head, turn your gaze, turn your neck slowly in that direction. So here we are in our final twist. See if we can settle in here. Really challenge yourself to surrender to this shape. It's a deep twist. Use your breath. Use your intentionality. You've got such good intentionality. This is where our mindfulness practice is so helpful. Deep breaths. See if you can soften into that left hip. Notice if the left shoulder can shimmy a little more toward the ground. Just let the surface beneath you support it. Relax the face and the jaw. Three more deep breaths. You guys have got this. Stay with the breath to the very last breath. Feel it. Be long, and allow your transition to be super slow. We've made it this far. Let's keep it the same. As you roll back to your back, give your knees a hug, and then slowly lower the feet to the floor. Bump your hips back to the center so you can let that spine lengthen out again and just feel the length of the spine. Good, nice big breath in. And a deep breath out. And press your palms and your feet into the mat as you lift up and bump your hips to the right. Draw your knees over to the left. And then extend that right arm out to the right. I'll keep my gaze in this direction, but you might want to turn your head toward the right. And just soften that right shoulder. And allow your breath to deepen again. Breaths. be aware of sensation. Be aware of your breath. This last shape. We've come so far, so slow. Last chance to soften. For this practice anyway. Let's take 3 more breaths here. The option to stay a little longer, but if you're ready, bring yourself back to center. Give yourself a moment to pause, hug your knees in, and then place your feet on the floor. Lengthen out the spine, come back to center, and then decide how you want to spend your final shape, your Shavasana. So maybe it's that pillow or blocks come under your knees. Maybe a blanket covers you up. You can allow your feet to come wide on your mat. Maybe they just kind of splay out. Maybe your arms reach out, palms face up, and just let yourself surrender here. The Shavasana is our final surrender. Know that you've done so well, so much good for your body, mind, spirit. Just allow everything to soften. Give your body time for these shapes to integrate. And just be real, be present, be you. Just as you enjoy your Shavasana, I just want to offer this sweet reading from, the Velveteen Rabbit. Real isn't how you are made, said the skin horse. It's a thing that happens to you. When a child loves you for a long, long time, not just to play with, but really loves you, it's then you become real. Does it hurt? Asked the rabbit. Sometimes, said the skin horse, for he was always truthful. When you are real, you don't mind being hurt. Does it happen all at once, like being wound up, he asked, or bit by bit? It doesn't happen all at once, said the skin horse. You become. It takes a long time. That's why it doesn't happen often to people who break easily or who have sharp edges or have to be carefully kept. Generally, by the time you are real, most of your hair has been loved off and your eyes drop out and you get loose in the joints and very shabby. But these things don't matter at all because once you are real, you can't be ugly, except to people who don't understand. You can begin to deepen your breath again. Gently move what wants to move, toes, fingers, eyelashes. And then just like we've done throughout this practice, transition super slowly. Roll to one side and just pause. Pause and notice. Notice your body. Notice your breath. Notice your mind. And then as you're ready, use the strength of your powerful arms to lift you back up to a seat. Let's check in one more time in Sukhasana, just see how we feel here. See how our breath moves in this shape. Lengthen out the spine. Feel that tailbone pressing into the earth and the crown of the head reaching toward the heavens, shoulders down away from the ears. Take your arms, reach them out and up, reach for all the goodness. And then draw, excuse me, draw that goodness down where it belongs, right in your heart center. I guess I got my throat chakra all cleared. Take your chin down to your chest and bow to your own realness. Thank you all for practicing today. Thanks for slowing down with me. It was an honor, as it always is. Namaste.